This is The Fix. It's time for the cool stuff. This week for the cool stuff, I went to Sandton to meet a young entrepreneur, Zuko Tisani. He's doing interesting things in cool spaces, connecting digital startups to the world through his unique conferencing. We meet in one of the burgeoning communal work hubs that are popping up all around Jersey. So your business model is really, really interesting, and Forbes Africa calls you the Conference King. Just take us through what makes your business unique, and you've been described as a disruptor. Tell me a bit about it.
The legacy business model is unique in the space that we don't actually have any technology products of our own, but we're promoting the African innovation story. So what we do as a business, we take over South African entrepreneurs and put them on the largest global platforms for them to be exhibited and to compete against their counterparts in whatever they're doing in that space of technology. We find the narrative of Africa being the dark continent is going a bit over now. We need to start competing with what's called the fourth industrial revolution, and legacy facilitates that.
You've been working with big companies as well as with the Department of Trade and Industry. What was the thing that attracted DTI to you? How did they even get to know that your company exists?
Before I actually did the partnership with the DTI, I was always on a horrible tangent about, they have mythical funds, they're not releasing the resources to the people, this, thing, and other. Eventually I got invited to the DTI and they said, what is the agenda here?
What was your agenda?
My agenda was for Africa, or African innovation, to get told on a global scale. So they said to me, okay, we have a similar narrative that we need to try attract investment back into South Africa. And we're thinking through your conferences, we could actually see some mutual value there. So what happened was we did the first collaboration with the DTI in Paris last month in May, at a conference called Viva Technology. At the space, we had the DTI set up a whole South African pavilion where 20 entrepreneurs got to exhibit. We had President Macron of France there as well. You can see so much investment from other countries and, people will say leading states in this technology spaces, where you have a full ecosystem from government, from private sector, throwing everything into this thing. And it really kind of, helped us create a strong business case, especially with the DTI, to say more needs to be done for this next economy, because the next economy is the digital economy.
Now, of course, every business has to have a value proposition. What is yours? How exactly do you make your money? I mean, is the DTI paying you? Do you get paid from the conferencing?
We get a lot of money from enterprise development budgets. So a lot of corporates, that are post 100 million in revenue, have an enterprise development budget of 2% of their net profits. And we're able to tap into that and get entrepreneurs sponsored over. On top of that, also we have corporates that sponsor over their employees. So there's a value proposition for the private South Africa, for corporate South Africa, to invest into legacy, because now we're also ensuring that their workforce is strengthened up, and also we're able to get them to invest into this or sponsor our entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs that could potentially be their suppliers or an innovation partner in one way or another.
Now, of course, you studied at UCT, you hail from the Eastern Cape, you're from Zweden. What made you interested in this kind of business?
I studied a degree in industrial psychology. I got headhunted by a management consulting company, and there I was positioned within the digital consulting space, and it kind of opened up my eyes to what is coming to be. So when I got some exposure globally, going over and seeing how much was being invested completely from the ecosystem, I said, I want this for South Africa.
Tell us that story and how it kind of got you onto that global stage to begin to look at this as a potential business for yourself, where you could, begin to employ people.
So it's 2016, and I'll go to a nice braai, and I'd been accepted to attend this conference in Hong Kong. And I'm there, I'm explaining to this pretty girl that I met there, I would love to go, but I can't afford to go. And she says, you must know who I am. I'm like, no, I don't know. And she's like, no, my mother's the ambassador of South Africa in Hong Kong. I'm like, wow. She's like, you know what, I'll inquire and see if she wouldn't mind accommodating me.
So you were slumming it with the ambassador?
Yes. So the Monday comes, and sure enough, I get a call from the ambassador of Hong Kong, and she's like, you know what, somehow we're related, as many Africans are. And she's like, you're welcome to stay at my place. I used half my salary and bought a ticket, and 3 hours later I was on a plane to Hong Kong, and this is where the opportunity kind of opened up. And here I am engaging with Josh Dorsey, who's the founder of Twitter, Michael Dell, who's the founder of Dell, Ariana Huffington, and all these high-profile individuals that already invested in the space. So I said to the guys, you know what, I'm bringing this to South Africa. And yeah.
The rest is history. That's, of course, Zuko, who is an amazing young man. Peter, I mean, you were talking about our economic woes. We should be doing more of this, hey?
We will. I mean, you meet the most amazing people, by the way. But, I mean, it's precisely guys like him that the ANC needs to be looking after. They need to make that guy's life as easy as possible. Whatever he wants to do, clear out all the bureaucratic hassles out of his way so he can be what he is. He's an entrepreneur. There are not enough of them, not enough young entrepreneurs. And yeah, man, it's just great looking at an interview.
Absolutely.
Like
I mean, the cool stuff always brings out the best in South Africans. Well, now that you've had your fix for the week, take care, good night. We'll see you next Sunday.